Chiron. Chiron? I don't know how to read this. And you know what else makes me feel alive? It is a beautiful, gloomy, rainy day with plenty of thunder and lightning, and I am just so happy. That type of weather just makes me feel alive, and you know what else makes me feel alive? Buying more books. I know that I already have a ton on my TBR, and I'm actually in the middle of reading multiple books, so I really don't need more books, but my library was having a book sale, and each book was 50 cents. So I just could not resist. First up, I picked up His Last Bow, which is a collection of Sherlock Holmes stories. I was obsessed with Sherlock Holmes as a teenager, and I haven't read any Sherlock Holmes stories in quite a while, so I figured, why not try this one out? And then I also picked up Eileen by Ottessa Moshfegh. I've heard that her stories can be pretty dark, depressing, twisted, scary, strange, weird. All of the above, really, and I've never read any of her works before, so I'm really curious to try one out, so I found this one and thought, okay, it's only 50 cents. This is about a young woman who is taking care of her alcoholic father, and she works in a boys' prison, and she seems pretty unstable, so she gets convinced to commit a terrible crime. So it seems like it's gonna be a bit of a twisted, dark thriller maybe, that's completely outside of my comfort zone, but I don't know, I'm curious. I was really excited when I found this one and I snagged it as quick as I humanly could, and that is The Song of Achilles. I've actually been playing Hades, which is probably one of my favorite video games that I've played this year, and in that game, Achilles is a character that you can interact with, and it was just reminding me that I still need to pick up this book, and I found it, and only for 50 cents, which I am very pleased with. I know that this book is a pretty heavy one, it's a tearjerker, and I'm ready for that, I guess. Hopefully. We'll see. And then the last thing I found was The Language of Threads, and I picked this up because I recognized the author's name, Gail Tsukiyama, and I have one of her other books, and I'm just the type of person that will pick up books from authors that I recognize, because I'm like, yeah, I know that author, kind of, so this is maybe a good book. But this is actually the second book in a duology, so I can't actually read this until I read the first, so whoops. And that is everything that I picked up at my library's used book sale. I'm very happy with the things that I found, and I'm actually going to be annotating some of these. I feel comfortable enough to do that since they are used books and I bought them so cheaply. I just can never bring a pen to the pages of a book that I just freshly bought. It's just so hard for me, but with these I feel like I can do it, and I'm excited because I've actually never really annotated a book, like written in a book, and I'm just curious to see how that will feel. Hopefully I don't get addicted to that feeling because I cannot be writing in my $20, $25 books. Absolutely not, but 50-cent ones? Oh my god, your butt is in the shot. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and do my thing, and I'll see you in the next clip. I am back from doing some computer-related tasks, and I was thinking about how I'm not super happy with my shelves currently, and I want to keep up this feeling of productivity for today, so I thought, why not fix up my shelves a little bit. So here are my shelves right now. You can see that I have some double stacking going on, and I don't like that. I need to fix it. Alright, it's a few days later, and I have been obsessing over these shelves, moving volumes around here and there, trying to see what the best configuration is, and I've decided I just need to stop and be okay with how it is right now. Either way, the volumes on these shelves will keep shifting around over time. On these bookshelves, I have all the manga volumes and books that I've read, so as volumes move from my TBR to these shelves, things will keep rearranging. So yeah, I realized that this configuration is not permanent, so I'm just gonna leave it alone. I will say I really love how my Hiromu Arakawa shelf turned out. I just love having her works displayed, and I love having that foil cover of Full Metal Alchemist front facing. I think it looks great. The other area I'm pretty happy with is the Yuki Kamatani shelf, how you can kind of just see all of their works in one clean row. I really like the way that looks. The thing that bothers me the most is like this little clamp section here, because all of these volumes have pretty uniform height until you get to the Tokyo Babylon ones and they're like much taller, but whatever. I just need to get over it. And yeah, that's all. Thanks for letting me rant about my bookshelves. Today I have a day off, so I'm thinking I want to do some reading. I really want to start reading The Song of Achilles. I know that this is a pretty heavy book, but I feel like I'm in a good headspace for it, and I'm just really eager to experience this story. So many people really love this book. And I'll go ahead and just read the back of this book. So it says, Achilles, the best of all the Greeks, son of the cruel sea goddess Thetis and the legendary king Peleus, is strong, swift, and beautiful, irresistible to all who meet him. Patroclus is an awkward young prince, exiled from his homeland after an act of shocking violence. Brought together by chance, they forge an inseparable bond. They are trained by the centaur Chiron? I don't know how to read this. They are trained by the centaur Chiron in the arts of war and medicine, but when word comes that Ellen of Sparta has been kidnapped, all the heroes of Greece are called upon to lay siege to Troy in her name. Seduced by the promise of a glorious destiny, Achilles joins their cause, and torn between love and fear for his friend Patroclus, follows. Little do they know that the cruel fates will test them both as never before and demand a terrible sacrifice. Damn. So I've actually been playing Hades, like I mentioned, and Hades has both of these characters, and they've kind of hinted at the backstory of both Achilles and Patroclus. So I feel like I have a little bit of an idea of what happens, but not the full picture. So I'm really curious to read this story and just experience it. This will be my first time annotating a book, and I'm kind of excited. So I thought, why not vlog that process of me annotating my first book? So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get cozy and start reading this book that might break my heart. Good morning, reader friends. I just had a nice little breakfast and read a little bit more of Song of Achilles. Ignore my cat clawing the door. She is very rude. There's nothing you can do about it. But anyways, look at all these tabs I've got going here. At first, I was so nervous to write in this book, but eventually I did. I've mostly just been underlining quotes that I like, and I created a little color key. So far, I only really have 2 categories. Well, I actually have a 3rd category, but I haven't written it down yet on this page. But I have light pink or salmon for tenderness. And then I have this kind of olive light green for imagery. And that could be imagery that is really beautiful or very visceral. I feel like Madeline Miller is amazing at making you feel like you're there. The imagery that she invokes with her writing is so strong. This book is one of the easiest for me to picture in my mind, just because she gives all the right details to kind of sink into this story. And my 3rd category that I need to still write on my index is just going to be this yellowish tab for reference, like points in a story that call back to earlier moments. It could be maybe something important about a character that I want to remember. It could be maybe motifs, anything like that that I just want to reference. I will use this yellow tab for. I really enjoy annotating, especially for something like this, where it's honestly such a beautifully written book that I just want to highlight and tab all the little spots that I just really enjoyed. Let me read you one of my favorite, quotes or some of my favorite lines out of the book. These will not spoil the story at all. These are just very visually beautiful moments that I highlighted and just love. So this is a simple paragraph just talking about Achilles juggling fruit, and I just didn't know that you could make it sound so interesting. With a toss of his wrist, he flicked the figs in the air, 1, 2, 3, juggling them so lightly that their delicate skins did not bruise. The fruits flew, colors blurring, so fast they seemed not to touch his hands, to tumble of their own accord. Juggling was a trick of low mummers and beggars, but he made it something else, a living pattern painted on the air, so beautiful even I could not pretend disinterest. Achilles caught the remaining fruits, except for the last, which he ate, the dark flesh parting to pink seeds under his teeth. The fruit was perfectly ripe, the juice brimming. Without thinking, I brought the one he had thrown me to my lips. Its burst of grainy sweetness filled my mouth. The skin was downy on my tongue. I had loved figs once. It is so poetic. Sometimes I'm like, damn, she went hard on these descriptions. It's so beautifully written. I know that this book is tragic. I haven't gotten to the tragic part yet, but it's also very beautiful at the same time. I will say there are strong trigger warnings in this. I recommend looking into those before checking out this book because it is definitely uncomfy. It is very soft in its prose, very beautiful at times, but also very tragic, and there's lots of violence against women and children and things like that that can be hard to read. But yeah, I would say that my first experience both reading this book and annotating it has been a success. I love annotating so much. I can see why you guys love it. The annotating community, I am so sorry that I said I would never write in a book. Here I am doing it now, but I still hold true to the fact that you will never see me write in a brand spanking new book. I just cannot bring a pen to a $30 book. And yes, my cat is trying to claw her way in here, so I think I might as well just end this video here. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. In the comments, go ahead and let me know what you're reading right now. I love adding to my TBR. You guys have recommended some great books that I'm just so excited to read, and I always love just getting more and more recommendations from you guys. All right, until the next one, stay healthy, drink water, take care of yourself, and read something that makes you feel alive. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.